First off, this thing. You'll notice I've got this video card in it, and that is because I feel really dumb about this. Bad planning. Okay. This is not a video card. Believe it or not. I mean, I made some assumptions based on the fact that there was one of those on the monitor, and, you know. This, as it turns out, is apparently a capture card? I mean, I don't know what you'd be capturing with a freaking 8-bit card, but, I mean, okay. So, anyway, that's probably not going to work. So, what we've got instead is this guy, which I then tested in here in that Cyrix machine, and I know it works. So, then we looked up, I did find a data sheet on this one. We looked up some jumper settings, tried to set it to pretty much everything. Disabling slot 8 XT machines on their 8th slot had a different voltage. But as you can see, it's still angry. So, at this point I'm not 100% sure where to go next. I'm probably just going to have to wait until I have an extra $60 laying around that I can buy another EEPROM programmer so that I can get this BIOS off and we can figure out what the heck's going on. Now while we're waiting for this laptop over here to boot, or to install, I figured we might as well take a look at this thing. Alright, we're going to get right to the chase here. Today we're getting this Cyrix running. This is just kind of a generic, non-branded case. This is the motherboard that's in here is it's got a VIA chipset on it, a Ward BIOS. It's got some Cyrix processor on it. It supports pretty much any socket 7 CPU, and 2 different kinds of memory, 2 different kinds of power supplies. I could even put an AGP card in here if I wanted to. So some cool stuff. But for right now, we're just going to leave this configuration as is. This is pretty much how I got it. The video card might have been bad. I don't remember exactly what I've done to it so far, but first thing we're going to do is just clean up some of this terrible cabling job. So I'm going to speed through this. So everything is plugged back in, and looks a little bit better, I guess. I mean, we've got one cable here still for the power and an IDE cable for a hard drive, but I mean, and I'm not really a fan of using tweezers, especially in older computers. So I think we're just going to leave it like this for now. I'm going to basically flip it around, plug it in, see how it goes. Here we go. Pretty quiet. 6x86. Auto drive discovery, that's a pretty cool feature on a board this old. CMOS battery is good too. That's a good motherboard. I like this one. 96 S3 PR200 CPU, huh? What is that, 100 megahertz? Alright, well the drives showed up. I'm not seeing anything happening on this 5 1/4. Maybe if I reset it there. Well, the reset button's unplugged. Now I'm just making sure that we've got the right drive set up, because it looks like, so it was disabled in the BIOS. I think that's probably what, at least part of what was going on. Let's see if it comes online here. Hey, looks like it works. Very cool. So I've got this hard drive here that I think is going to be pretty good match for this computer. An old Western Digital 20 gigabyte, 5400 RPM. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off for now. We're just going to Get the, whoop, gotta put it in the right direction. Just pull these cables out of the way too. There we go. It's a little bit better. Find some screws. Find our screwdriver. I want to be careful not to just jam the screws in there, strip anything out. Just be gentle with this old stuff. It's not rocket science. I'm remembering now I did work on this computer a little bit a while ago. You can tell because of this Intel Pentium 3 cooler. They're just what I had laying around that would fit that socket. Nice and quiet though. Keeps the processor cool. These Cyrixes run hot, so. All right. Yep, it's loud. As long as it works though, I kind of like that old hard drive noise, you know. A disk read error, huh? Looks like it's shown up correctly. This rat turds up here in the top of the CD drive, that's sketchy. Alright, well I'm gonna go find a Windows 98 disk and I'll be right back. Right after a bunch of drama, I didn't actually have to find a CD, I ended up burning one, but whatever. Same difference. Go ahead and... I don't know if the boot settings will be correct to get it to boot from the CD, but we'll see. Nope. Alright, I just set it to boot from the CD-ROM first. I have no idea if this CD drive even works, but I guess we'll find out. Failure. Honestly, with how much tobacco dust was inside of that thing, I'm not 100% shocked. This one looks alright. You can see it spinning the drive around. That's kind of cool. I've never seen that before. Alright, did not work. A lot of these just need to be cleaned or the motor's stuck or whatever, but it's hard to justify getting around to it, you know. It's probably hard to see over here, but this is my watt meter and it's only using 45 to 60 watts. This computer's not doing too bad compared to even a lot of these newer ones I've been. Alright, that one's at least spinning, I can hear that, so. There we go, that's what it's supposed to look like. So the first thing I'm going to do is start the computer. Anyway, I started the, so I partitioned something, I guess. So now I'm restarting the computer. Since I know I don't want the data on that drive, I'm not too worried about it. This drive may not even work. I thought it did though. It's got a green sticker on it, so apparently it was writable at some point. So I'll go ahead and start the 98 setup. Non-MS-DOS files, huh? Yeah, remove everything. Alright, apparently I partitioned my disk, I guess. Apparently I did something wrong last time, so who knows. Well, I'm gonna leave it and we'll come back to it later. Pretty standard stuff, except I'm going to be not using a mouse because There's no extra PS2 slot on this computer. It's going to be an interesting little problem. So, while this is starting up, a little bit of what the plan is on this computer, I've been really curious about what it would be like to run Linux on some of these older machines. So, we're going to try that out, but I do want to get it set up and running with Windows first, and then shrink that, and then dual boot, just to make sure I can, you know, it's on a machine like this. I always like to have just one solid operating system running if I'm going to test other stuff, so I can still use it for something if a data recovery job comes up where I need to plug something into an old Windows 98 computer. It'd be a perfect computer to do that, or like EEPROM programming for some of these BIOS utilities. So that's pretty much what we're going to end up doing with this guy. Well, you probably don't need to sit here and watch a Windows 98 installation, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this and we'll get back to it when it's doing something cool. Alrighty, we're going to give this one a shot. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in. I fat fingered it there. Alright, looks like that worked. That's the key I used. But don't steal it, it would be very illegal of you. Alright, so we're going to leave this for a minute. We're going to go look at another project real quick while this finishes its setup. What? I thought we were going to have to do something crazy, but I found some like Italian website that had like a picture of it and ended up having some freaking BIOS switch codes, and I found out that it's on this keyboard board. This little weird thing right here. These two switches are the ones that control the video card. And check this out. It takes forever, but come on. Check it out. We got text. Woo! Good grief. I got work to do, like from my day job, or I would just freaking fix this right now. This is amazing. I wonder what area it probably is. I mean, it could be all sorts of things, but now that I've got the BIOS switches, we're in business. We can have this thing running. That is amazing. I'm so excited. I'm freaking out, guys. So as I was editing this video, I realized that I lost a little bit of the footage that I've been working on with some of these older computers, so I wanted to kind of give you an update on some of the things I was working on in this video so that I didn't just kind of leave it hanging. So as you can tell, there's been a lot going on. We did end up getting that thing working, but then we actually installed FreeDOS on it and used it to recover some files off of this computer, or rather the hard drive that came off of this computer. So it's a 286 made by Logisoft, which was a company that my mom and my dad ran in the 90s. So we recovered some of the files off of that. I'll show you the hard drive if I can find it real quick. It's an old MFM drive back in here. But that was an extremely long and annoying process, as was working on this 286. I spent a few hours working on that thing, and we ended up getting it to boot, kind of, but it's kind of a long story. But I'll be going over everything that I found in a later video. But kind of so you have something to look forward to. We got a package right here, got some monitors set up, rearranged the whole office so I can hopefully start getting a couple of computers set up. So we're gonna definitely be getting these working. If you want to follow along with some of these projects, don't forget to subscribe.